we go. Another victim. Got this one in here. It's not old Ford, but it's still a pretty. And problem with this bad boy here is a couple things. The biggest one being, you see that bowl of fuel pump there, how much crud is in it. The fuel pump's actually been bypassed. It's got an electric pump on it, and if you look at the filters, it's got another one up top that's just as bad. So the customer has brought in a brand new gas tank, new sending unit, and then we got a new fill tube here, and straps and felts for the straps. So we're gonna see about putting this tank in here, and I'm going to relocate the electric pump probably somewhere up here, or maybe along the frame rail. It's got a hard metal line that runs all the way the length of the car, so I might cut the line and put the, see, there's the line there. There's enough room to get that pump up in here kind of tucked away. That's probably what I'm going to do, is put the electric pump up in this cavity right here with a filter on it, and then retain the factory hard mount line from here to the front of the car, because it goes all through all kinds of stuff, and then it runs back up here along the frame and then tucks back down and comes up over this way. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on that, to be honest. So I already got some wrenches on her, and got the feed line broke loose there, so I'm gonna go ahead and work on dropping this tank down and go from there. So stay tuned. Alright, trying to make this easier on my life, I managed to get this broke loose, and got me a big 5-gallon fuel jug here. Let's see what this gasolina looks like. Not too bad. Doesn't smell bad. Seems pretty fresh, so maybe there's hope yet for this thing. I'm gonna get this thing drained down and work on getting it out. Alright, as you can see, I got the old tank out. I didn't film it because that was a hell of a fight getting it out. Would have been easier if you would have cut the fill neck, but I didn't want to cut it. It's an original tank, and it's really not in that bad a shape. I think somebody could probably clean it and reuse it versus putting an aftermarket tank in it. But see, I got my pogo here. Pretty much just got everything undone from it. There's where she hides. I got it all loose and dropped down, and then I took the pogo here and stuck it under the frame right here and raised it up and got a bigger gap between the leaf spring and the body there, and managed to just barely get it out. I had to take the lift arm off so we could get the tank dropped down and then swung around to come out, but you can get it out without cutting it. So keep chipping away on it here, see what else we can do. Alright, got the new tank kind of just stuck up in there, and got my sending unit in it, got it wired up, and just trying to get it centered. The tank is a little bit different than the original one, so I'm trying to get it in the best spot there where it sits the best in the brackets. And I gotta put some new rubbers on these runners here, and I wanted to show this. These are the retainers that hold the straps down, and whenever I went to take them off, I just barely put a little tension on the nut, try to break it loose, and they just popped out. You can see here the ends of them have either been cut off, or it almost looks like it's been cut. But I mean, look how much longer it's supposed to be. So I honestly can't believe this gas tank hadn't fallen out of this car. So we'll keep digging with it here and see what happens. All right, I didn't film all of it, but I got this project done. Had to, customer also wanted me to go ahead and ditch the old mechanical pump here. And as you can see, it was well due for a new tank. It had a lot of shit in there. So it's a big pump there, and all the old lines it didn't need. And put a nice little chrome block off plate where the mechanical pump was. And then the fuel line, I took the original hard line there that runs in the front, and if you can see it there, I took the line loose and bent it around and got it coming up over the frame rail there. So now it just feeds in down there in a nice straight shot. Right there, the carburetor. Doing that cut out 8 feet of extra fuel line just by doing that. Just by moving that line from the passenger side, and all this was 8 feet of extra fuel line going to that carburetor. So let me get it raised up here and we'll show you the bottom. All right, so you can see here in the front, it's the hard metal line where it came up, and it used to wrap around under the cross member here and then go up to the mechanical pump. So I got it bent around the frame there real nice. Got clearance, about a 1/2 inch clearance on it all the way around. Not touching anything, and got all my little brackets in it there. So it's not going anywhere, and that's the original line ran down the frame rail here. And that's my fuel pump wire I ran. It's a big vacuum chamber there. And I left the original union there, and I got it run up, and then this is where I put the electric pump, which turned out real nice. It's real easy to deal with, tucked up in that frame rail, real protected. And I just put one of those little Edelbrock screw-on filters on there, and then retained the original feed line to the tank back here. It was in good shape. Of course, I blew everything out. And then these straps on the tank here did not fit. This tank is too short. I think it's made to fit a few different cars, but we engineered these bolts here and got some of these J-hook bolts and got them in there. Honestly, I think that's a little bit better off than what it was from the factory. So we got those on both sides of it, and they're real good and tight. That tank ain't going nowhere. And then the filler neck is 2 pieces, so I had to just took a clamp there and bolted it to the car, to the body, and wrapped some rubber around that fill tube and got it cinched down, and it turned out perfect. It doesn't flop around or move at all or nothing. So anyway, it's not an exact fit tank, but it turned out pretty decent. The car is pretty nice on the bottom of it, as you can see. Looks like it's got a little bit of antifreeze leak. See if he wants us to maybe fix that down the road, but there you go. Nice and shiny. So I hope y'all are having a good one out there. Get some gas on your hands and fix something.